defenders, I think, it's like.
Am I live? People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Good morning to those of you like myself over here in the United Kingdom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Please make sure you hit the like button. It's the halfway point of the week, people. It's Wednesday. So, yeah, while I wished you last week, I hope you had a great week. You know, I wished you a good start to this week. I hope currently you're moving that much closer to your goals, hopes, dreams, ambitions, and aspirations. And if you're going through any hardship, I hope you have the strength to persevere through it. And hopefully come Friday, we've all had a good week. We have a good week to remember, and we can enjoy the weekend away from football. Whatever happens with Liverpool, Arsenal, you know, we'll deal with what needs to be done. And on that, make sure you're setting your reminders and schedules, people. I know it's been a while since there's been no football, but you know we'll do a live preview for Arsenal, Liverpool, Arsenal. One love to everyone that was on Twitch. With James Redmond yesterday. I'll clip that up and have that uploaded. Tomorrow I'm gonna have Mo on my Twitch channel from 2:30 to around 3:30. We'll preview the game, and I'm trying to do a couple of other bits and pieces for you people. So yeah, content galore. As I said, please make sure you hit the like button on your way in. 100 likes is the target. Make sure you're following and subscribing as the journey to 50k continues. I think it's like we've been moving on a bus, and the bus has stopped. I feel for the last few weeks the bus has stopped. I don't know where the driver's gone and things, but hopefully we get back on that. And hopefully next year, probably this year's, we could have got 50k, but it probably isn't going to happen. But next year, hopefully we get 50,000. Hopefully we get 10,000 on Twitch, people, and we keep growing and things like that. So yeah, I hope you're all doing well and safe. Today, obviously, Everton have been linked with Callum Chambers and Maitland-Niles. RAHEEM Sterling rumours. I know, people, it isn't happening, but let's just humour ourselves. Definitely the same trail of thought continues where Barcelona allegedly have put Frankie de Jong up for sale. And I was going to read just now, I was going to read an article in The Athletic, and it probably is going to be a bit of positive Arteta propaganda, probably borderline OTT, maybe not necessarily a neutral piece, but I think we might as well go through it with you. I might as well read it with you lot as well, because I don't know what's in it, people. So yeah, big up everyone tuned in. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. I hope everyone's in good spirits. Let me see what you lot are saying in the comments, people. Man said, where am I at? John Dominguez. I can't lie, that's a wavy name, man, like Dominguez, you know, Dominguez. Chill out, man. I'm here, man. I'm here. I understand it was 2 minutes late, but I'm always here later. And to be fair to you, I have a meeting at 1:30, then another meeting at 2, then we've got a live stream. I need to, you know, I've watched, you know, I've done a couple videos for youth content that needs to go out there. Make sure you're following on Apple Music and Spotify, as well as Twitch and YouTube, by the way. So yeah, there's hella content, man. Allow me, bro. Allow me. Zaka said, ain't caught a live stream from the beginning in time. I'm gonna leave this tab open. When it starts, it starts. Appreciate that, Zach, and appreciate everybody locked in. CT, salute DJ as always. Blessings, Gooner family. On behalf of everyone, right back at you, my guy. CS, good morning to you as well. Chris, A, Lobo, again, shout out to everyone, you know, everywhere in this world, because I know some of you are in over there in Australia, some of you in Canada, America, and all over the Caribbean. One love Jamaica. I know we was robbed yesterday. We should have beat America. Still, I can't lie to you. Brazil versus Argentina look lit. I'm seeing Vinicius Jr. I need to make a public apology to him. He's doing rainbow flicks. I'm seeing Otamendi trying to draw blood from Rafinha. Look like he bust his mouth or nose. It looked decent, man, really. I see the highlights for France's game. See Holland do their thing in little bits and pieces yesterday. So yeah, man, we're up in Canada right now. DG says Lobo, come on, man. And I appreciate everyone else who is commenting. You lot make this for what it is. Any comments, opinions, questions, talking points, make sure you get them in. Also, make sure you're checking out the comments I left in this live message in the live chat, because obviously I like to make sure you lot don't miss content. So to make sure you don't miss content from this week, I'm going to start probably just making playlists just of the content we've spoke about specifically this week. And I've started that. So that's there. Football Manager playlist is there as well. So yeah, enough with the shameless plugging. Make sure you're all there, man. Lewis, I wish I was the main man. You lot are the main guys and gals, because if you lot didn't support the thing and do what you can for the engagement, I'll be sitting here for no reason, really and truly. So it is what it is. I appreciate you. Jinga, live from Planet X. Shout out the members, the moderators, the subscribers, the people who've been supporting from day one, and obviously the new viewers. Haaland and Norway will not be going to Qatar. I mean, that's Odegaard not going to Qatar. That's Ivory Coast and Pepe and that not going to Qatar. So yeah, Arteta's gonna have his, obviously we're gonna probably need to have, from an Arsenal perspective, some sort of mini winter pre-season. Obviously, the football's going to be done for a week. Well, I said a week. Football's going to be done for a month. So I don't know if Arsenal are going to use that time to set up a base in the UK, maybe go to a more remote part, maybe use St. George's and do our little thing there. Not just Arsenal, but several clubs are going to do that. Or do we go to the Middle East as well, people, and do a little warm winter camp next year where obviously, again, we hope Gabriel is there. Lacazette won't be a thing unless he signs a new deal. But you'd imagine, he'd have a good month. You have your pre-season, which starts earlier, and the season, which starts slightly earlier. Then you have that November period to somewhat have a mini pre-season. And I know a couple of years ago when Arteta was waffling about how he needs a pre-season, he probably relishes that. So next season will be very interesting. And for me, the knock-on effects as well that will be taking place because of, the messed up fixture calendar list and whatnot. Canada on top of CONCACAF DG World Cup settings, first time in my life. And it'll be good to see, man. It'd be good to see, I mean, if you're Tomori, has he played an official FIFA recognized game for England, or has it been friendlies? Because I know Tomori's played for England at youth level as well as Canada. He actually played against England for Canada. If I'm Tomori, boy, I might just say, you know what, let me come true again. But yeah, Canada deserve it. You've got a number of decent players coming on the scene. Everybody who gets to the World Cup is there on merit. So it is what it is. Ideal lineup versus Liverpool, bro. Miles, apologies, bro, but we'll deal with that tomorrow. But we'll deal with that tomorrow. But I would say the people that I would probably go with right now: Ramsdale, Tomiyasu's there, Lokonga, Partey, Smith Rowe, Bukayo Saka. A certain Scottish left back. I know that one ain't gonna go down well, but we'll focus on that a bit more tomorrow, my dude. So yeah, that's where I would be with that. Just before we get into this athletic article, let's actually make sure that we're setting our timestamps correctly, people. So yeah, man, the first thing I want to do is just read this athletic article because I ain't read it myself, people. So on the selfish one, I want to see what the hell is being said. But as you lot can see here, how Arteta's Arsenal steadied ship during manager's best 10 to 15 days in football after a shaky start to the season. Now, James McNicholas and David Ornstein potentially are probably kissing a bit of arse, probably making it a bit squeaky clean. Again, I think Arteta deserves all his praise, and I think Arsenal do as well. But this is what I mean about Disney Channel. It's sounding a bit Disneyland. It's sounding a bit Mighty Ducksish. It's not sounding, I don't want to say fair, but it's not sounding neutral. And we know the club obviously used this as somewhere to put things out there. And I get it, but it is what it is. I'm going to scroll down a bit, but behind closed doors at Arsenal's London Coley training ground, manager Mikel Arteta has been known to compare his team to a rowing boat. The first season of his management then was about plugging a hole in a sinking vessel after arriving mid-voyage in late December. The second one, which saw considerable turnover in personnel, about streamlining his crew and chucking a few mutineers overboard. Bit of a rather graphic example. The third then should be about making some good progress to safe harbor. Literally steadying the ship, showing that you're a skilled salesman. But anyways, scrolling all the way down, obviously, apparently the tumult, he's using some strong words, but I should have stayed in school a bit longer. But the tumult, whatever that means, of those opening weeks has been washed away by a 10-game unbeaten run in the league and Carabao Cup that has them fifth ahead of Saturday's trip to Liverpool. And with the team looking focused and functional, that destination is perhaps coming faintly into view on the horizon. I mean, we've got to keep neutral. I get it. Arsenal feels it's a lot better when you've won 10 games in all comps. It's definitely a healthier mood from where we was last season, but we haven't done nothing. I'm seeing all the think pieces come out. The new one is, since Smith Rowe has come into the team, how many points Arsenal have won more games than everyone. We can't rewrite history. There is the good, bad, and the ugly, like we've seen this season, like we've seen last season. And I genuinely believe if you're looking at Arsenal, without your ridiculously positive hat or your negative nanny hat. You see it for what it is, and it's the good, bad, the ugly. There's some great moments, there's some less favorable moments, there are some terrible moments, and there's some good ones. And we're going to keep doing this full circle, really. We haven't seen enough, really and truly. And I'm still where I'm at last season. I say it all the time on these live streams. With the exception of the new recruits, credit where due, Arteta has done stuff, but I haven't learned anything about Arsenal. You know, I know we can put in good performances against good teams on occasion, but I need to know you can do it over a 38-game period, something that's eluded us since, you know, Arsene Wenger's last couple of years, Emre's time, and ultimately currently Arteta's time. You know, all that matters for me is, have we improved on 8th? I get it. If there's a DNA, if it's looking like the players are gelling, I can concede that. But that's all that matters, where you start and where you finish. And then, you know, where you started in August, where we're actually first, to obviously May, where mathematically we can still win the league, but realistically it's probably a myth. That's all that matters. Like, I'm not going to care if we suddenly go on a 10, because there's, you know, life is about balance. Same way you've gone on 10 unbeaten runs, you can go on 10 games without winning really quickly. Sentiment can change, and you saw the Arteta out brigade start to creep and show their face again with the Brighton and Palace game. So it's almost like we're always on knife edge, really. So Liverpool is a big test. If we win, I won't say it will teach me a lot, because you went to Old Trafford last year and won. What did it do for us beyond that? I won't say if you lose, I'm going to learn a lot. What I want you to do is put in a performance, and undoubtedly it's our biggest test. We've got a Liverpool squad which, you know, Mane's all right over his injury. Robertson probably going to miss out, but it's still Liverpool. And on top of that, they are going to be angry. They effed up against Brighton. They effed up against West Ham. They need to start getting back on clawing points, and Klopp is going to want it to start with us. Now, for us, obviously, it's a good test of our credentials if we can go to Anfield and ideally win. Because of how we've been moving, I'll take a point. If we are to lose, I think I speak for many rational Arsenal fans when I say it's how we lose. You know, if it's the typical, you know how it has been typically. If we're going down fighting and they're just better than us, and we, you know, Salah does something amazing, which, you know, there's only a handful of players in the Prem that are going to do what Salah and Ronaldo and Kevin on his day and all these guys are going to do. I can sit back and say, all right, cool, we worked them to their limit. They're a quality team. They showed some quality. What can you say? You know, but it's when we're doing things like stray passes, not following runners, self-inflicting errors where you can't afford to do it. And if I'm real with you, obviously, we need to get to that point where we're nitpicking. I'm happy that we're 10 games unbeaten, but we need to nitpick. That's what the best teams do, you know. And it feels like with Arsenal, with Arsenal's fan base, they don't want to, I'm not saying to nitpick negatively or looking for positives where there's none. Look at it on a neutral. It feels like it's only when we lose or it gets embarrassing. Hit the like button, 106 of you locked in. It gets embarrassing that people want to talk about Arsenal at depth. Questioning moments might happen in games, but if we win, it doesn't matter. Because I'm still worried about that Spurs game. Best performance for me this season, realistically, you know, 3 goals in one half. But our point, we were 3-0 up. We still look like we could concede. Our second goal in that was the best thing ever. Villa, it could have went a different way. Leicester, it could have went a different way. Now, obviously, that's the Premier League. You know, people are going to fight. There's going to be times you need to sit back and things. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we've got a long way to go. And especially in terms of game management, because some of the little dribs and drabs and bits and pieces that we've got away with against Brighton, in victories against Leicester, Villa, more so Spurs, you know, we're not going to get away with that against these, man. You give these guys inches, pause, they will take yards. That's what Liverpool are about. Liverpool are the worst team to go away to for any sympathy, really. Them and City, really and truly. And even the way City kill you and Liverpool kill you is 2 different things. City, it's like they like to torture you. Like they will kill you slowly when they're battering you on the football field, as we've seen. Liverpool is straight going for the head with a knife, boom, 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 and all of that. That's Liverpool. We've seen it in it. You know, hella PTSD as fans. Couple of them players have been torn new ones against Mane and Salah. And obviously on that topic as well, people still, yeah, we've gone 10 games unbeaten, but people still fancy Arsenal. People still disappointed if they don't get 3 points off Arsenal. If you're Liverpool, you'll probably be vexed if you do not get 3 points off Arsenal. And if we scroll it down, realistically, it's a better Arsenal defense. Like, by God's grace, you're not going to see Holding or Chambers partner each other centre halves together. But if I'm Salah, if I'm Mane, Firmino's not fit, I believe, but to paint the picture, this is where I get a couple goals. I'm not going to lie. If I'm Salah, I'm trying to get golden boot. I'm trying to, not that I need to, but I'm trying to make City, not City, sorry, Liverpool give me that new deal for 400k, 500k, however much it is. do your thing in it, and he's having a great season. This is what Arsenal need to be able to do going into that Liverpool game as well. We need to have the common sense to be able to sit there and say, all right, cool, we're gonna have to you have to respect Liverpool. You can't defend 1v1 against Salah. You need to double up on him. You need, sometimes he's just gonna go past you. As a defender, you need to be humble sometimes, and rather than try and stop someone, just manage a situation. Like, you know, nine, you know, if there's 10 wingers, 9 times out of 10, he might be able to pocket a winger or not let him turn. But that one with Salah, you've got to let him turn. You know, you let him turn, do his thing, but then you orchestrate the traffic he runs into. You know, does he run into blind alleys? Liverpool, West Ham did it superbly. You're going to have to respect Liverpool. We're going to have to defend in our own half for large periods of that game. Without a doubt, we're going to have to defend for large periods of that game in our own half, on the edge of our area. And we're going to need to do that. But when we do have that ball, we need to have belief, which is what West Ham did, you know, to take the lead, to get back into the lead, you know, to, you know, respect Liverpool, the threat of Salah, the threat of Trent and all the other players. But this is what we need to go into. So it's a big test. So for me, I wouldn't say, like you lot saw, I was vexed at the start of the season, but I wasn't letting it sway me. I'm not really getting too gassed with this form. All I care about is May. And for now, I would be a lot happier and a lot more gassed, admittedly, people, if we was saying all of this 10-game unbeaten stuff and we're literally about to enter the new year. Now, I know we're at that period, folks, clearly, but at the same time, it's not December. All that matters is getting to December. Survive that winter, get to December. We're going to drop points. Other people are going to drop points. You've all seen the league table. It's fluctuating up and down like this. It will start to normalize in January, in my opinion, the beginning of January. And our run isn't easy. And obviously, we've had it great. Everybody's fit now. Everything's perfect. But you're not going to have everybody fit. You are going to have some, not even just a fitness thing. Certain people's form is going to be off and all of these sort of things. And it just feels like at times we fail to recognize that everything can't be perfect. Very rarely are things going to be perfect within this league, people. So scrolling all the way down, away from that passionate speech from myself, people, we want to, and this is what I like by Arteta. And this is what I feel as well. We won a couple of games after we won 2-0 against Leicester. We are not where we want to be still. There are a lot of things to improve. Let's keep humble, working hard, and go game by game. And that's it. Because you can't draw too many parallels with Arsenal, you know. We're the best thing since sliced bread. We're going to, you know, we're going to be top 4 or we're going to really challenge for it. Nobody was saying that prior, you know, and this is it. We forgive them for what happened at the start. We praise them for what they did now, but it's break-even territory. Now we're seeing what road these guys are going to go down to. Are you going to show everyone? I wouldn't say I'm a doubter or a non-believer. I'm a bit skeptical. I love this team. I love what we're doing, but at the back of my mind, apart from the 90 minutes, I can only go on a game-by-game basis. I know it's 10 games unbeaten, but I don't think Arsenal, to me as a fan, have put credit in enough bank for me to sit there and say, okay, cool, we're going to be, after 10 games, we're here, we're there, where else? They need to prove that to us. So again, we haven't done anything. But apparently, that humility is both admirable and appropriate. In one respect, he is right. His Arsenal haven't achieved anything as of yet. They have benefited from a far kinder run of fixtures than in those early weeks, and have not always been convincing in the victory. The likes of Brighton and Palace came close to winning those matches. Palace, we deserve to really lose. Good fight from Lacazette and Cole. We deserve to lose. Brighton, I think the players were sluggish, but I think as much as I'm more on the players for Palace, I more think Arteta's got to share a bit of blame as well. I understood not changing things for the Brighton game, but they went free at the back and we kind of got swallowed alive there, and we're quite lucky. Wins aren't always going to be perfect. As I said, very rarely are you going to have what I would want as an Arsenal fan. We're winning 3-0, 70 to 90 to 100% of the possession. The other team haven't had a shot, let alone a shot on target. That's not the Premier League. That is not it. So this is where I feel when those games came in, people kind of forgot where Arsenal were and was attributing everything to a winning thing. But it's true, people. And for me anyways, this is an important point. As much as I love Ramsdale, yeah, if we're winning these games and they're as close as we're saying they are, folks, why is Ramsdale getting man of the match? This isn't me criticizing Ramsdale. You need your keeper to do stuff. But that's just me trying to provoke thinking in you guys. Oh, are these games as one-sided or as clear-cut? Because we shouldn't even know Ramsdale was there. Other teams, when they've won, they don't even know Ramsdale's there, you know? We need to move away from that. If Ramsdale is up there for your man of the match or your player of the month, as he has been, and he's deserved it, take nothing away from Ramsdale and what he's doing, looking at the team. And if we have improved defensively, logically, if your keeper's man of the match, he's making more saves. Logically, he's not going to, unless he does some mad assists, you're not going to get it. It's like the striker. The striker scores more goals, he's going to get more accolades. So can we work on not knowing Ramsdale's there? Less of the theatrics. I don't know. Shout out Ramsdale though. But at the same time, Arteta has done something. Not for the first time in his Arsenal career. He has steadied a rocking ship, which is true, man. Keep your opinions on what not coming, people. Appreciate you. A man said, "Hi, Deluded. I'm new to the channel and I subscribed. I appreciate that. Hopefully you can continue. What's this about Sterling? We'll get into it. Alisson has been suspect as the midfield and at times the defense. Listen, Liverpool are not invincible. They're a golfing class above us. They're a very good side. They're fantastic. We're going to need to want to be at the best, but they defo, you know, you can do a thing against them, but you need to turn up. And you need to have that balance of respecting Liverpool, but at the same time not over respecting them. Like I said, they've done everything we want to do. I want Arsenal to be Champions League winners. Whether we can ever do that one day, let's say we can in it one day. Hopefully, by the time I'm dead and leave this world, we do that in it. But they've done everything we want to do. You know, say what you want about FFG. Klopp has done everything Arteta wants to do. I'd assume admired by everyone for his style of play, for his improvement of players, for how he galvanizes and captures the club, how he captures Liverpool's working class spirit. As I say, society mirrors football and football mirrors society. And when you look at Klopp and Henderson and things, you can draw parallels between Liverpool as an area and Liverpool. That's what Arteta wants, admired as well. Who doesn't want to be admired in any role? You know, if you're not wanting to be admired, you don't want to be a good, no matter how humble. Wenger wanted to be admired for his style of football and all these things. Or why would there be so much of an emphasis? The players, you're going to tell me you don't want to be spoken about as the best in the world or the best in your position, you know, the best team. You don't want to get in Premier League. You don't want to be in Premier League races, much less win the Premier League. You don't want to win Champions League in that. No, a couple of you have won an FA Cup, but, you know, that should give you a drug for, as I thought it would have been at the start of, well, when Arteta won it, is like, all right, cool, we've won an FA Cup now. For the people above Arteta, let's invest in this club and make this a minimum. For the players, let's do this thing. Now, when that euphoria died, we're back to square one. So this is it. You know, a lot of you want to be that. One thing I like about Arsenal as well with our young players is that, yeah, they might get scared, but a lot of them are freed from, I would say, the PTSD of always getting battered. And I would say a lot of them are naive. Like, with respect to Saka, Smith Rowe, and the rest of them, you know, a lot of them, yeah, they know the dynamics they're in, but a lot of them can't see past their nose in that they want to just be playing and improving and all of these sort of things. So we'll have to see what happens there, man. But, you know, when a team experience a dramatic turnaround in form, it is tempting to imagine they have undergone some kind of training ground revolution. Then it hasn't been. You know, I probably assume Arteta and that have been doing the same things. And to be fair, Arteta, Edu, the boys, they probably knew that the start of the season would pass and they would have a good time and things would get better and all of these sort of things, which is at this moment it's happened. But there's a lot of football to be played. Simple as that, you know. Does Arteta have the capacity to dark arts his way to a win Simeone style? Would you be made if we stunk out the place to get a win? I can't lie, but we are stinking out the place, right? There's only been a handful of times we've actually played good football. And if we're honest with ourselves, our best games, we're quite reactive. Very rarely are Arsenal on the front foot historically under Arteta's reign, really. I would like to see us concede a bit more fouls, but I would imagine, you know, if you're Pep Guardiola, everyone praises him for defending. You can't, I mean, for attacking. If he could not coach a team to defend, you can forget about attacking. You know, there's a very big emphasis. Everybody praises City for what they do on the ball. It's because of the work they do off it defensively and offensively, whether that's conceding fouls, holding on to the ball. These are things that, I mean, if you're working at City and working at with Pep, you should have, really. But I don't want to see them thing there. But yeah, man. Bro, James is 30, but I can't, you know, obviously, let's be honest, the club and the Athletic. I mean, Athletic, if you want to hire me, could do your thing, but they ain't cahoots in it, man. You know, this writer thinks he's writing a graphic novel. Bro, I get it, I respect it, but it sounded mad, bro. It sounded like we're doing some Mighty Ducks thing, man. Arteta sending Sterling the PowerPoint presentation. DG say less, by God's grace. But you even hearing Sterling wants Liverpool return and Barca and all these things. So we'll see. We'll get on to Sterling soon, man. You lot just keep your opinions on what not coming. The key to beat Liverpool is to frustrate the crowd. Little fouls to break up the game, little tactical injuries, going down, wasting time. All these things will help shut up the crowd and frustrate the Liverpool players. If you frustrate them, I'll get onto it in a bit tomorrow, but that high line with Liverpool ain't been the best. Liverpool haven't been defending the best. They can be got at. You know, the spaces that Tomiskas or Robertson leave and Trent leave, There's avenues there. The high line with those centre halves. You know, if you pull it in that middle space, if you get that final ball perfect, just in behind that them centre halves. Allison, I love Allison, but he's so quick to come off that line. You look, remember him and Van Dijk at the Emirates under Arteta, where Nelson and Laka scored. There are certain things, certain bits and pieces that you could see. You know, Liverpool can be got at. They're a great team. They're an angry team, but they're not invincible. And you're going to need to be at your best, really. We'll focus on that game a bit tomorrow, man. Interesting comments. 24 more likes away from 100. DG, would you go toe-to-toe with Liverpool? Bits and pieces, like I said, you've got to respect them still. You've got to respect them. We can't go toe-to-toe with their car. We ain't got the strikers they've got. We ain't got the midfield they've got. We have to do the West Ham thing. When West Ham had the ball, they believed that they could cause troubles. You saw them on the transition. You saw them on the counter. You saw them instantly try to break and exploit that high line. That they deployed, but at the same time they had to respect. They couldn't go toe to toe. Look at how they played. Go watch the game again. For large periods of that game, definitely the first 45, Liverpool onto them. West Ham are clearing their lines. They're on the edge of the area. They're in their own half. But the key is not to panic, you know. And sometimes our players, maybe not so much the new players, but we have panicked where that's happened. We'll be like, oh my God, clear it. And it's hot potato. Anyone that's played Sunday League, you know that's long, especially if you're a defender. And if another team's all over you, they're on top of you, and you're just booting it to nowhere, you ain't got a striker up there anyways. So Van Dijk's just going to take it back and clip it first time back there. It's going to get tiresome. The key is to believe, and we're going to need an outlet, whether that's Lacazette holding up the ball, whether that's Aubameyang, whether that's someone. This is why we probably need more dribblers in our team, and probably need people who can hold on to the ball in the middle of the park. Because you look at, if we had a man like Kovacic, because of his ball carrying ability, or someone, we have Pepe. I'm not starting Pepe at all, but someone that can just hold on to the ball, draw fouls, be an outlet. We need an outlet against Liverpool, honestly, man. But we can't go toe to toe with Liverpool in the sense of we ain't got the personnel. We can be brave, we can not be reactive, we can not show too much respect, but toe to toe. Only City and not too many teams can go toe to toe with them. I wouldn't even say West Ham went toe to toe. West Ham were in a fight, they won it. I wouldn't say toe to toe, because for me that means meeting Liverpool where they're at. That means for me, without the obvious, that means okay, cool. We're less focusing on what we need to do against them, and we're focusing on what we can do, sort of thing. I don't think we have the personnel. I think unless you're City or Chelsea, you can't really go toe to toe with Liverpool, and the same goes for a couple of other clubs. So I would be a bit more positive, but you have to respect them. I don't know where I am in terms of the system, if I would change things or go to a free or anything like that. Because on one hand, these players are still young, somewhat naive. They might not be able to do them things. But at the same time, again, respecting Liverpool. And in general, we need to be able to chop and change. We found a bit of stability. I don't want to change it, but you need to be able to, over a 38-game period, have different systems and different things and whatnot to be able to do, or you're just going to ultimately become predictable. Like us in Arteta's second season or first full season, people clocked it. Left-hand centric, the counter-attacking thing, the inverted fullback on one side, they've clocked it. And that just, people clocked Pep at a time. People clocked. That was a madness at a period. This is what happens in the Premier League. Everyone's got access to your games. This is what happens. It happens in Football Manager. Look at me. No Europe. We got third. This season, we're currently sixth. It's getting a bit brazy. So, yeah, man, keep the opinions coming. You're right. Big performance for Canada yesterday. Sadly, Jamaica got robbed. And what a goal it was from Mickey Antonio. Hit the like button if you haven't, people. What else have we got here? Shout out DG, love the content as usual. When is the next FM stream? Well, the next live stream will be at 4 p.m. on Twitch. The next video installment will be at 1 p.m. on YouTube. So it will come out after this. Again, you lot can't see, but I've been cutting and chopping them all day and all day and night for you guys, and they take a bloody they take forever. It takes about 2 hours to export it. It's also an hour and all of this mad stuff on YouTube, but we make it happen, man. We make it happen. Oba's back in training. There were some rumors of him being injured. Apparently he's not. Apparently it was pre-planned from what I saw online that he would return. Yeah. Is Partey back? I mean, did Partey go with Ghana? I swear he had a little knock. It is what it is, bro. Brazil versus Argentina, 42 fouls. Typical game between the two of them, really. Anyways, back to this, people. While there have been, of course, tweaks and alterations that have played the part in changing results and narratives, the key for Arsenal has been their consultancy, a uniform desire to stick to the plan and philosophy. Neither the coach nor the club's top brass flirted with suddenly changing course after those opening 3 games. It was a case of holding their nerves. Well, we did. Fair enough, people got fit, but we did, fair enough. We made a bold decision. Ramsdale, you're coming in. Tomiyasu only had 1 training session when he made his debut. You're coming in. Gabriel, you're back. You're back in. Ben White over COVID, you're back in. So and beyond the obvious. So it makes sense. Even as Arsenal sat at the bottom of the Premier League table without a win or even a goal, Arteta retained the unflinching support of the board and ownership. Josh Kroenke remaining in direct communication with the manager, while media reports linked Arsenal with other coaches or suggested Arteta's position was under threat. His bosses consistently offered support and reassurance. If there are any doubts creeping in, it did not show. Fair enough. And we all know how the start of the season was. We all know several players were missing for a variety of reasons. I'm not going to go over that with you. There was hope, perhaps even expectation that matters would improve when Arteta could call upon his team. I hear it, but at the same time, definitely where the Brentford game is concerned, injuries, COVID, whatever, that game was unacceptable. And there were elements that were unacceptable against Chelsea and elements that were unacceptable against Manchester City, regardless of who is fit or not. And that's where I think with Arsenal, there is no balance when we talk about things. It's either white or black. It's never a grey area. But anyways, he has since called it the best 10 or 15 days I've ever had since I've been in football. It's a startling comment and demonstrates the importance of that period to the Spaniard. He knew the club's loyalty to him would be tested, and it is a test they've passed. I mean, I wouldn't say we've passed until Arsenal are back in Europe and consistently what we used to be. I'd say it's a testing period, not just for him, but the Kroenkes and everyone. And that tells you, well, we knew he was never going to get sacked because he probably should have. Every other manager could have been sacked in November. He didn't have his full fit team. He's probably only going to be judged on when everyone's fit, which is probably from the first game up until now. Big money was spent. Not going to spend 150 million and then ditch your manager. Other clubs could. We were not going to do that. And obviously, he seems to have a good relationship with Josh Kroenke. So I personally feel there'll be, unless it's just purely to do with sporting matters, there'll be a reality, in my opinion, where Edu leaves before Arteta. Personally, I know the two's roles are correlated. Maybe not. Well, it is directly, but you get the point, innit? Hit the like button if you haven't done such already, people. So we'll have to see. They had always hoped to add a new right back, but poor individual performances in that position made their search more urgent. Ultimately, the club pressed ahead with a deadline day move for Tomiyasu, who on early evidence looks a shrewd addition. Then spoke about letting people go, and then, and then in Ainsley Maitland-Niles' case, rather than release him on another loan after spending the second half of last season at West Brom, a decision which looks more sensible by the day. And again, a bit of a propaganda piece, making out this is some crazy revelation that Ainsley Maitland-Niles has stayed. Maybe that's because, in the case of Leno, Nketiah and Xhaka, regardless of if you're a centre mid or not, maybe the club had one thought in mind and players were going to move on, and then something in the background, unbeknown to us normal fans, happened, and we're having to deal with what we're dealing with. Considering Ainsley Maitland-Niles is contracted until 2023, it would make sense to get him signed up to a new deal now, rather than repeat what's going on with Eddie Nketiah, or was the Eddie Nketiah case last season, where you have that summer where it's the last 6 months. And I'd be quite frustrated because for the last 2 years now, we've had opportunities to make decent buck on Ainsley Maitland-Niles, if that is going to be the case. On the training ground, Arteta was enthused by the unerring commitment of his players. One of the advantages of having such a young group is that the scars of defeat do not linger as long with them, while a media storm enveloped the club. It did not penetrate London goalie. A bit naive and a bit more of a propaganda piece, people. Scrolling all the way down, it's bigged up the decisions of Ramsdale, Gabriel and Ben White. Apparently, Leno was informed that he was being demoted 48 hours before the Norwich game. And obviously, as I just said, it's well documented. Tomiyasu got to start his first game after doing a madness in training. Not that he needed to do much, because he should have been in the team anyways. He's our only half-decent fullback, really. Throughout that period, Arteta enjoyed clear and positive communication with the upper rugs of the Arsenal hierarchy. Josh Kroenke, Vinay Venkatesan, non-executive director Tim Lewis have been fairly regular visitors to the training ground, most recently joining Arteta, Edu and director of football operations Richard Garlick for a London Coley lunch to commemorate the manager's 100th game. In turn, Arteta's communication with his players remains a strength. The former Arsenal captain is understood to have made particularly stirring pre-match team talks before the Norwich game and the 3-1 derby victory over Spurs. He also is prepared to give others the opportunity to speak. In one post-match interview, Ramsdale admitted to addressing the team after being frustrated about the concession of a late consolation goal in last month's 3-1 win over Aston Villa. Big point, but I can't really praise a manager for speaking and resonating well with his team. You should be able to do that, and if you can't do that, you're not the man. And there, you should let players speak. Footballers are not kids, you can talk to them and whatnot. But I do believe footballers are the best. The best footballers are the best problem solvers. So there should be a scenario where the players, if things are going well, they talk about what's going well and what's wrong. Or if things are going wrong, they have it out with itself. The centre half tearing into the goalie tearing into this guy and whatnot. Then the manager speaks. They're all men. They're all grown men. They're all opinionated. They all seem to take their profession seriously, which is what I love. So I love to see that, really and truly. Bit of an unnecessary, again, more positive propaganda pieces. I don't really feel this is a balanced article. It feels like they're forcing positives. I'm gonna scroll a bit down because it is getting a bit cringy. At a time when Arteta found himself under substantial external pressure, he found he had significant internal support. It's for that reason this period was so precious to him, and it's true. With such a young team, the role of its senior players has been vital. Aubameyang and Lacazette were obviously missed on the field in those early defeats, but also off it. We know they're big personalities and whatnot, people. Apparently, over the course of a summer in which he turned 32, Aubameyang held a series of conversations with the coaching staff about changes to his training program and physical output required from him. The aim was to engage and re-energize him after a disappointing season last year. Obviously, he only got 2 goals in the Premier League. He took it on board, and Arteta has been delighted with his response. And obviously, he's got 7 and 11 in all comps, people. And he is playing quite well and playing with quite a swagger. Apparently, Lacazette has impressed staff with his attitude. Well, it's in his best interest to keep training well and not getting down, because you're just showing yourselves to prospective new clubs. He now, it's like a female coming, a female where she's going out with a man that don't necessarily appreciate her, and she's thinking about busting out. Of course, she's gonna make herself look a bit more prettier in that when she goes raving with her friends. You might, the love of her life might come to you, or someone that appreciates her. So it makes sense with Lacazette. It makes sense. You're 30. I'm sure you got slim hopes of going to a World Cup, which is unlikely, and you're trying to get a move. So it's with it, and you might be trying to get a new deal at Arsenal. So it's in his best interest to play well, really. And away from that, Lacazette strikes me as a serious professional. Arteta is a manager who puts a lot of stock in performances at training, where Lacazette has shown a consistent willingness to push for a place. When he was, let's scroll all the way down. We know they've done a thing there. Scrolling all the way down to Lacazette's contract, people. His destiny will soon be in his own hands. From the new year, he is free to discuss terms for a summer free transfer with overseas clubs. For their part, Arsenal are mindful that a new deal for Lacazette would have a domino effect, both in terms of the development of their present crop of young forwards and restricting their ability to bring in a new striker, which clearly the club wants. Arsenal are currently unwilling to sanction the long-term deal Lacazette is believed to want. However, Arsenal do not rule out a short-term agreement, maybe an extra year, so you and Aubameyang can go out together, giving us an extra year to find a striker. If the club can strike a deal that does not leave them burdened with a lengthy contract or heavy salary, it is still possible the Frenchman could extend his 5-year stay. That door is not closed yet, folks. Scrolling all the way down. Although he has been absent through injury since late September, Granit Xhaka has returned to London Coley to continue his rehab and remains a significant leadership presence among the group. Xhaka's mindset may have been helped by the fact that a couple months ago, again, I'm not going to read all of that. Long story short, he gave an agency the rights to look after his social media. And I like to see that, and that's what it should be. Everyone should be upset that you're not playing, but it's a squad game and things can change. God forbid if Ben White's form gets a bit shaky or he gets injured, Rob Holding, there's an opportunity. Ainsley, I don't think you're going to do much to dislodge Partey or Xhaka when fit. Personally, I want another midfielder, but when you've been given opportunities, you've done what you can. Make it a difficult decision for Arteta to pick an 11. So yeah, man, he said Ainsley, Holding, Leno, everybody's training well. Obviously, Gabriel has assumed more responsibility. White has shown his leadership skills as well. Smith Rowe and Saka are doing their things. It's also spoke on our improvements on set pieces. It hasn't said anything of note there, people. Well, it is what it is. It spoke about how we've been doing things off the field. We went to Fright Night in Fort Park in October. We had a dinner arranged after the Leicester game with Aubameyang and Xhaka for the boys. Obviously, Arteta gave them an extra day off, so it makes a lot of sense. But it just feels like a lot of propaganda. And again, it's spoken about how Arteta is getting all the Wenger pictures around London Coley. And then obviously, you know, we've invited former Arsenal men to come and see the club. Again, I find it hard to read articles like this, and I'm going to stop here because I don't think it's fairly balanced. Don't get it twisted. I love the positive propaganda that is coming with Arsenal's way, rather that than the negative. But at the same time, it's just unnecessary. It's not balanced, really and truly. The one bit of relevance, again, in terms of signing people to new deals, Arsenal need to get on the boat with this, you know. Reece Nelson's probably something you're going to have to deal with. Saliba is something you're going to have to deal with, really. You know, he's contracted until 2024, like with Bukayo Saka and Martinelli. If I'm Martinelli and Saliba, are you going to sign new deals at Arsenal right now? It's something to consider. Bukayo Saka, probably within, I would say, 2 weeks of signing his last deal. For me, if I'm Saka's advisors, I'm saying, boy, Saka needs 100 bags minimum. Like, I'm an England international, one of the first names on the team sheet. I'm the number 7. I need 100 bags, you know. And you want to see less of our contracts running down. You know, we came out, you know, Kiddo Taylor Hart, Balogun, Saka. I'm missing someone else. These contracts have ran down to the wire. Let's stop that. Let's stop it. Let's stop it in good time. Now, Saliba's building up his stock. Give the man a new deal. Whether him or his advisors want to take that is another thing, people. So that's that Athletic article done there, people. So we can close that and we can get into obviously Everton and all the rest of it in a second, people. Let me just go back because again, that was on another browser. But yeah, that's the Athletics article, people. / Liverpool versus Arsenal preview. We'll call it that. One love to everybody tuned in. 240 of you locked in. We got 240 likes, man. If you've hit the like button, God bless you. Unexpected high bills if you haven't done such, people. Let me scroll the way down. Arteta was reluctant to play Laka this season. He only played him because we were struggling to create with another striker. And then it seemed like a masterstroke. To be fair with you, I agree with that as well, my dude. And I just think for me, it was that game. Who did we play? It was Palace, innit? Aubameyang's pressing him by himself. And that's the thing, you know, it never feels like Arteta is doing these things as a byproduct. It feels like Lacazette's in because you can't leave him out anymore. It felt like Smith Rowe got his chance right after Willian and Lacazette 10 experiments didn't work. So I'm not saying it is that, but to play devil's advocate, I don't want to say he hasn't worked on it. Like, I feel it's a bit insensitive to say he hasn't worked on the 4-4-2 and that. But yeah, man. Is what it is, man. Is what it is. Chill out, John, man. There's Sterling. There's all them thing there. I'm only one man. I can only do one thing at once. We're gonna get there, man. Chill out, bro. You know, chill. I see your comment earlier. I hear that. I appreciate it, but chill, man. I'm one man. I'm not a dog breed boy. But anyways, moving on with all of this, let's start with Everton, people. Now, again, it's getting back to rumour season, and you'd imagine January is a difficult time for us to do business, for everybody to do business. And we're in a weird place in that there are several players who probably are going to be moved on, who could be moved on, some more than others. But again, you can't really make wholesale changes in January, or we've done it before, but it's not advisable. You know, if you can get a decent, you know, the names that are probably going to be linked with moves, he's going to be playing for a period in January in the AFCON, but you've got El Nene, you know, Kolasinac is there. Ainsley, his future is going to be speculated. Callum Chambers is there, you know, probably not going to sell Cedric, but the Cedrics and these sort of players. Balogun, do you go on loan there? Eddie Nketiah, if he's sold, what happens there? You know, Balogun and Eddie's short-term futures are probably correlated. If Balogun goes on loan, then Eddie might just run down his next 6 months. You know, if Eddie is sold and whatnot, then maybe, you know, Balogun might stay with Aubameyang going away for a month and whatnot. So it's very interesting to see what's going to happen with the strikers. Now, for me, I would sell Chambers purely because, listen, I like Chambers a lot. I think when he comes into the team, he does all right. He's a good squad player, but I think there's some funds to be raised there. And I just feel, you know, again, it's not a crash in it. Like, Chambers can be a decent squad player, but the way we're looking to go, he can't help us really and truly. And if there's money to be made, it is what it is. And he's been a decent squad player, but he's more or less at the same level since he signed from Southampton. And what I mean by that is he was a fullback earmarked as long-term playing as a centre half, coming off the back of being converted from academy days in midfield. Now, while he's been at Arsenal and he's had a couple of stop-offs on loan, he had a good spell at Middlesbrough before an injury. He played in midfield quite well for Fulham. Is he a midfielder, centre half, right back, or what? Now, for me, he is a centre half and he'll do a job at right back. But what is he? That's my point, you know. But what it says here, people, let's read the first headline. Everton are targeting 5 million January move for Callum Chambers if they cannot entice his Arsenal teammate Ainsley Maitland-Niles to Goodison Park, with Rafa Benitez determined to freshen up his options at right back. 5 million, I'm not on it. I know his contract's running down. You did hear Arsenal have an option of another year for Callum Chambers, and to be fair to you, it might be worth holding on to him, you know. Because next year, if we get into Europe, these sort of Europa League, or well, hopefully you lot won't be playing in the Europa League. If you get champs, you're gonna need players. We're gonna have more games, so it could be something. I'm definitely not trying to take 5 million, considerably less than what Southampton gave us, and obviously they probably got a sell-on fee, and obviously it's an English tax, and obviously Everton are a club that paid 50 million for Sigurdsson. They definitely got peas. It is what it is. But apparently, Everton have reportedly identified Callum Chambers as their backup plan in January should they fail in a pursuit of his Arsenal teammate Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Rafa Benitez is looking to bolster Everton in the right-back position, and he is said to have identified 2 players at Arsenal that find themselves on the peripheral. Now, Ainsley's adaptability won't leave him, won't escape him, and every team that seems to be linked with him, it is what it is. Apparently, the Sun have reported that the Spaniard is exploring the viability of bringing Chambers to Goodison Park for a nominal fee. Let's click on this quickly. We'll come back. We'll circle back on that, see if we've missed anything, people. Scroll all the way down. As you lot know, Callum Chambers joined us in 2014, and it just hasn't worked out, people. And as you lot see here, people, senior management at the Emirates Stadium have yet to trigger the option to extend his deal by 12 months, which obviously opens up the door, and we could extend it, which is why I think we could chill off really in that regards. We'll get him gone in the summer. I'm not really a fan of 5 million. Definitely mid-season, where if something happens, you can utilize him really and truly. He started 2 of our 11 games in the Premier League this season, people. Obviously, he's further down the pecking order. He's so far down the pecking order at Arsenal at this moment that he has failed to make the subs bench in the last 2 months, saying that he did come off in the cup and he went on to score with his first touch, people. It is what it is. You know, it's peak. And it's peak for any defender. And in general, you know, it's probably the worst time to be on the peripheral of things if you're Arsenal. Like if you're Rob Holding, if you're Callum Chambers, if you're to a degree Ainsley, if you're Cedric, because there's not too many games you can get game time. You know, there's only so much cups that we're in. You know, the Carling Cup, it comes around occasionally. FA Cup is going to be arriving shortly. There's only so much you could do, people. Apparently, the Sun reported that Benitez's preference is to take Ainsley Maitland-Niles, a player he obviously attempted to sign in the summer on loan until the end of the season, before exploring the potential for a permanent switch. And to be fair to you, you know, it could be worth it. You know, again, I wouldn't let Ainsley go in Jan because we're going to be down to our bare bones. But maybe if you sell it, you let him go to Everton, he puts himself in the shop window with a year left, they might give you a decent fee, one that you could have got from Wolves. Again, where Maitland-Niles is concerned, we've got to be thinking about that contract. If I'm Ainsley, I'm probably not going to commit to an Arsenal deal at this moment in time. But if I'm Arsenal, that's what we need to look at. Ainsley, I won't go as far as to say he's playing games, but he's quote-unquote playing games, people. And I think the Daily Mail's being a bit deep because he's, you know, since then, Ainsley has quashed these comments and said, you know what, I would like to play in midfield, but I'll play wherever. I just want to play games, really. And it is what it is, people. Let's see if we've missed anything by the Sun. Obviously, this has said that they want to take Callum Chambers to take over from veteran Seamus Coleman. Don't know if you're going to get the same prime him from that. I'd rather Ainsley. So yeah, apparently Mikel Arteta is not looking to make any changes to his squad and is reluctant to let anyone leave, but accepts Chambers needs regular football. I'm not gonna lie, you know, if a suitable offer is made for Chambers, I'd let him go. If you start offering me around 20 odd million for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I might do that as well. But we need midfielders. Chambers probably needs to stay. I'd say the one out of everyone I'd probably say you can leave is probably Kolasinac, because I think we're stopped there. Really, I think they'll let him. I think they'll let him go. Really, Leno is probably going to be at least pushing for a loan move or something, because again, you know, Germany and things like that. I think that will be that. Probably would ideally like to let El Nene go, but again, we don't know who we're bringing in midfield. This is why the summer we brought in Partey, you needed that number 8. But for what it is, people, we all know Ainsley was set to move to Goodison Park in the summer, and obviously was devastated. And we all know the social media antics, and we all know his contract, as I've been speaking, is due for expiry in 2023, and there's even a chance that he could extend that deal if he can be convinced that he can become a regular first teamer at Arsenal. You make yourself it, you know. I would say where he's concerned. 280 people, hit the like button, people. We're gonna get into the Raheem Sterling shenanigans in just a second, but just let me see what you guys are saying as well, man. Let me scroll down. Well, gone for Rafa, looking hella smelly at Everton, Chambers, and that. If Everton offer us good money for both, I'd sell them and buy a number 8. Chambers is one of the best crosses of the ball at Arsenal. I hear that, but you know, there's more to life than just that. It's not like that. What's that American football position where you just come on to kick a ball? It's not adapting. Would you take a draw at Anfield? Of course. Big up DG every time. Can't watch the whole live stream. We'll catch up later. 868 Gooner, come on, my guy. That's the beautiful thing about YouTube. It will be here. Do what you need to do for your day, and it is what it is, man. We'll be back here. Everton on loan for Chambers makes sense. If we get to Europe next season, he'll be a lot sharper. I can't lie. I hear it. That's someone I'd be trying to personally move on. If I'm real with you, that's just someone I'd be moving on. Really, a couple of the maddest thing is a lot of these players are not bad players. It's just collectively together in a 25-man squad, it don't do much really. So that's what I would be open to doing, if it makes sense. Hit the like button if you have not done such already, folks. So yeah, man, it is what it is. Raheem Sterling in a second, people will get into that. What else have we got? Cool. Copy. And then paste. So we've got Raheem Sterling now. 51-44. Now we've been linked with Raheem Sterling. I know you lot don't believe it, neither do I. He's also today been linked with Barcelona. He's not only Barca, he's been linked with a move back to Liverpool. So it is what it is. Of course, I would love Raheem Sterling. Come back and live back in London. He could play on the left, worked with Arteta, all of that jazz. But I can't really see it happening, people. But for what it is, allegedly, Manchester City forward Raheem Sterling would prefer to join Arsenal over Barcelona if given the choice, according to a report. You'd want to give up Champions League football for us. The only thing we've got is the London aspect and maybe, you know, the English thing and whatnot. But he's spoken of wanting to play abroad before. At 26, I can't imagine there'll be too many other opportunities to not play abroad, because you will, but play at top clubs. And obviously Xavi's there. It's exciting times. I know the finances probably means at this moment, maybe they can't do it, but I can't really see it happening. Barca have been credited with an interest in Sterling, who has 18 months left to run on his deal. But Transfer Market Web claims Arsenal are the front runners to land the 26-year-old. He's said to be open to working under former City assistant manager Mikel Arteta. Apparently, they want around 40 million for Raheem Sterling. So it all seems quite doable, people. I've clicked on the actual article. Apparently, Raheem Sterling does not endure more, as declared by reports from England. The English player wants to leave Man City and live a new adventure. Reports have linked him with Barcelona. Despite this, the player would be willing to try his soccer outside of Spain now, and will not. And apparently, I think this is, I don't know who Blue Grain is. Maybe they mean Barcelona will not seek to sign any player for a price in the signing market unless an opportunity appears, like Dani Alves. Sterling, on the other hand, has more than striking option, and that is more than striking option. You can see it there, and that is of Arsenal. Mikel Arteta, the Mikel Arteta project calls him, and the Gunners are very interested in him taking over the services of the ex-Liverpool. The quick departures from Aubameyang and Lacazette could make it RAS, as it's called in England, a file by the London team. Probably the price would be between 40 and 45 million pounds, but surely Man City would seek a loan with a purchase option in case of making the movement in January. So there you have that, where Raheem Sterling is concerned, people. Apparently, Aaron Ramsey wants to return to Arsenal, claims Theo Walker, as you lot can see here. I mean, certain people would love that. Aaron Ramsey would love to rejoin Arsenal in the January transfer window. Let's see what Walcott has said about that. I'll find out, give him a call and pester him. Do you know what? It would be lovely. It would be fantastic if he comes back to the Premier League. I feel like he would love to. Some part of me in my head thinks that he would love to come back to Arsenal. It does. Something about that would tick a sort of tick a box. It's one of those things. He's at Juventus and he's playing well for Wales last night, and it's good to see. A lot of people have been on his back in Italy, which I haven't seen a lot or enough of to comment on that. You have seen all of it, but I rate you, Theo, because you're not trying to get at your brethren in the public. I respect it. But he's a leader, he's a workhorse, still playing for his country, and has all these caps. I hear that. But Newcastle is the thing for you, man. You should never go back, man. Man said Holding, dead sauce, proper dead sauce. Holding or Marie, I'd rather Holding. I don't think Marie's good at anything. Unpopular opinion, I don't really rate with Marie. Like, I think Marie's probably the shittest defender we've got. I just think people get gas car. He seems to do the talking thing. He's a bit more mature, and he's got a fantastic barnet on his head, fantastic set of hair on his head. But I think he's our worst. I think he's the worst pound per pound centre half at this club. I don't think he's better than Holding. I don't think Holding is amazing. Holding does questionable things. I think Holding's better than him. Chambers isn't the best, but I would probably take Chambers over Marie, because I think Marie. Chambers just looks a bit more assured of himself. Marie is very suspect, really. Yeah, I think Marie's the worst centre half at the club, really, if I'm honest with you. Which one should we sell? Kind of answered the question, Marie, in it, but Holding's probably more likely to get a better fee. Both can go, but I'd probably say Holding if you need fees. But then you've got what's the word? You've got to think about the homegrown thing, and that's the wickedest thing. A lot of our squad players are the homegrown players. Like, who's really, really certy out of the homegrown players? Saka, Smith Rowe, Saliba apparently in a couple of years becomes homegrown, but Saliba, Saka, Smith Rowe. Off the top of my head, by default, Ben White. I swear Tierney counts. He's technically born in Isle of Man, and I know he plays for Scotland, so Tierney must count. Ramsdale, obviously, we've just brought him in as well. But apart from that, you've got Chambers, Holding, Maitland-Niles, Eddie Nketiah, Joe Willock's gone now, so you can't even include him. Half the homegrown guys are the squad players, so you can't let them all go. Literally, we can't register players, so it's something to think about. If we sell Pepe for 30, we can go for Sterling. Don't work like that, man. Balogun, homegrown as well. Can register him. Bro, you need to get some soap and tell your boy to wash his mouth out, because you can't be saying Marie's top 3 centre halves. Bugging out. Just about the best centre half at 23's level now. I'm exaggerating heavily. He'd definitely be it there. But I've even seen him get ripped there, man. Love to see Rambo back, but it's pure nostalgia. Tierney doesn't count, wasn't trained at the club, registered with FAW for 3 years before turning 18. So I hear that, but I'm sure Ramsey counts. But yeah, I mean, Carl Heine can be, Okonkwo can be. Clark's not here at this moment in time. Neither is Nelson. So in relation to this season, and even that, half of them, are they going to make it here? Can I say Reece Nelson is going to? I hope he does, but that's the point. Half of these are squad players, guys that are half in, half out. None of them are assurances. So again, I don't think we can get rid of every one of them, at least without looking to replace such. 160 likes. People keep running that up. Appreciative. What do you think about James Ward-Prowse? Brilliant midfield and also a consistent set piece taker. I like him. Doesn't do anything amazing, but does the basics amazingly well. I like Ward-Prowse. Competent, consistent, confident in his abilities. Not going to give you anything less than a 6 or a 7 out of 10 games. I mean, I would homegrown as well. I would love Ward-Prowse, really. I mean, love's an exaggeration, but I would take Ward-Prowse with open arms, and I'd be quite happy about that signing. But Southampton, are they going to let him go? Probably not. He seems to be the one lad they've been able to hold on to. And, with the Bales and the Walcotts and the Ox and the Chamberlains and the Shaw and the Shaws and all of these guys, he's been the one they've been able to hang on to, really, and he's done half decent for them. Wouldn't you agree? Renato Sanchez is good, but his injury record is very concerning. Yep, as we spoke about yesterday, 100%, 1,000% in that regard. So we can delete that. What's this? Raheem Sterling. Sorry, folks. I'm just trying to exit things for us. What's this? Let's go over some of these other articles. Now, apparently, Balogun picked up a little knock yesterday, but Arsenal have been handed a boost as the England under-21 boss, has put our fears to bed, people. He was forced off in the first half, where former Arsenal player Sam Greenwood came on and technically scored, but he's not injured. He's just had a bit of a stomach bug. So yeah, man, he's had a dodgy pasta or something, man, and he needed to come off. But it's nice to see Balogun's all right. We've been linked again with Renato Sanches. As you lot know, Arsenal tell Lille they want Renato Sanches, but face a January battle with AC Milan as Mikel Arteta looks to bolster his midfield with Granit Xhaka injured and Thomas Partey and Mohamed El Nene heading to AFCON, people. And apparently AC Milan have reportedly made an offer for him, obviously with apparently Kessié is going to be leaving for free. Arsenal have made their interest known to Sanches representatives, while Lille's hierarchy are also said to be aware, according to the French outlet Le Temps Sport. Now, yesterday we spoke about how allegedly Arsenal were interested. They were presented with a 35 million euro offering valuation in the summer. Rightly or wrongly, for whatever reason, they said no. For me, I like Renato Sanches. His injury record is a bit of a madness, as we spoke about yesterday. Should we click on this Le Temps Sport thing and get straight to it, people? Apparently, chased by Barcelona, who reached an agreement with the player last summer without succeeding in convincing Lille, Renato Sanches is now subject of a European match. Obviously, we know AC Milan are interested, but Arsenal are coming strong. According to our information, Arsenal are also very interested, in Renato Sanches. The Gunners have already taken their disposal to make known their interest to the player and his representatives as well to the Lille leaders. Unlike AC Milan, Arsenal have yet to make an offer, but in the coming weeks, the English club could go on the attack. At the time of writing, AC Milan and Arsenal are the most active in trying to sign Renato Sanches mid-season. Listening, Leo can accept if the offer is considered sufficient, as you can see there, people. So that one is probably one that we're gonna see heating up. Dropped a pound. That we're going to see heat up more and more. And, he clearly tried to leave. Arsenal were interested. Barca agreement. He did seem like he was someone on the move last summer. And obviously he was someone that was flirting with Arsenal. I mean, I'm trying to find it. I'm sure you all remember in the summer when him and Gabriel were doing the social media antics and all of those sort of things, people. If you lot remember seeing ish like this as well, come to Arsenal, said Gabriel. I'm waiting for your invitation. So if we all remember the antics, so he seems to want to come. I think Renato Sanches would fit in well, to be honest, with what we're going on. I think he's a good player. The only thing is the injury business. So we'll have to see, Obviously, I don't know if you don't know, but Guendouzi at 22 years of age is a French international now. And, Marseille are going to make profit on that player when he is sold. So it is what it is. From one ridiculous rumor to another, I just want you lot to bear in mind that Frankie de Jong said, I actually thought Arsenal was pretty beautiful in the past. In my mind, I've always had the following list for a long time: Ajax, Arsenal, Barcelona. Call it the Mark over Mars route. And of course, I would love de Jong. He's a beautiful footballer. I'm sure the galley will say he's a beautiful man, innit? Look at them eyes and whatnot. Pause. Beautiful footballer. Amazing. It's never going to happen. You should have got him when he was at Ajax. It's gone, innit? And why would you leave Barca? But he's been linked with a departure from Barca. And I'm sure you've all seen, the rumors and whatnot. Allegedly, because Xavi wants to play Pedri and Gavi together. That's Xavi wants to play Gavi and Pedri together, if I didn't make sense there. They could look to sell Frank de Jong. Now, for me, brother, this guy's going to have Europe's elite. I'm sure Juventus and Barca can do some dodgy dealings and some dodgy swap transfers. I'm sure, City might have something. I'm sure even United might throw their hat into the ring, really. He'll have a whole host of places he could earn money, or places he can play in Europe. And how much are they going to ask for him, people? But allegedly, Xavi has already made his first major transfer decision of his tenure, as he's reportedly transfer listed Frankie de Jong. As you lot know, he's signed since 2019, and I feel in the last 18 months he's found his footing a bit better. But it is what it is. According to Spanish outlet El Chiringuito, I've butchered that, but de Jong could be on his way out of Catalonia, which he looks like him and his girlfriend love it there. He's still young. It seems like it was his dream. You're not going to let someone take your dream without a fight, really and truly. And I'm sure it's not going to happen. Allegedly, Xavi also reportedly feels comfortable in letting De Jong go due to the strength in depth in Barcelona's midfield. Probably a bit naive from Xavi in his first managerial job, if this is the case. Pedri and Gavi have impressed at the Camp Nou, and Gavi, a La Masia graduate, has been compared to Xavi himself. Xavi also has Ricky Puig. I mean, can he be registered? And Nico at his disposal, while Sergio Busquets and Sergio Roberto offer more experience. I mean, Sergio Roberto needs to keep it moving. I swear he can't even sign a deal. So yeah, man. Obviously, I can't imagine this happens again, especially when you've got Juventus, but Frankie De Jong, and it's extremely naive. I think they're having everybody on, but in terms of humouring you lot, that's that in it. Frankie De Jong's for sale, Raheem Sterling business. We spoke about Balogun's injury. What's this? Ramsdale on AUBAMEYANG. Close that. Sorry, folks. I think I'm missing out one more thing to speak to you lot about. Oh, I don't know if to big up you lot. 300 of you locked in. Hit the like button. Aaron Ramsdale's revealed the strange way Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Lacazette entertained their teammates. All right. Let's hope this ain't nothing suspect. If it does scroll down, people. He said, when Aubameyang and Lacazette are happy, it's a very loud change room. Of course, the man them are going to be loud. Sometimes they'll be speaking in French, so you don't know what they're going on about. They could be slaughtering you. They won't be because they're nice people. Then they get Nicolas Pepe involved. Next thing you know, one of them's running at the other and they're just going whack, giving each other a dead arm, and it makes everyone laugh. I mean, the icy freeze is bubbly in there, innit? And this is what you need, man. When it's a good place to come to work, it's a decent place. And I like it with Lacazette and Aubameyang. They're extremely professional. They work hard. They want to play. They want to play hard. And he said, it's not just the two strikers cracking jokes. He's also spoken about Xhaka. Maybe Xhaka's laughing at the fact that people think he's better than Vieira, but granted, Xhaka is very dry with his humor. Obviously, he's got his Switzerland/Albanian heritage, so he'll come out with a mafia shout or something. He'll say, hey, the mafia will get you, or something like that. Now, I think that's very funny to me, but we've got to be careful. Obviously, certain people might try cancel people and carry on and move mad, really, and say it's this, that, and the third. But that's that where all of the articles are concerned, folks. So hit the like button. Imagine that 30 years old, someone that scores goals acting immature, more immature than Saccharantini. A bit harsh, don't you think, Josh? Man can't make a joke again. Man can't laugh again. Like, come on, man. That's a bit harsh. Selling De Jong and keeping Gavi and Pedri, the two kids. That's why I think it's worse, bro. Like, even if anything, De Jong will just get frozen out and then man will play. I can't see it. I just think it's worse. Bro, De Jong will cost 100 mil. This club spent 70 on Pepe. So no matter how, even if you have to pay into 2045, go and get it done. We're not getting Renato Sanchez, probably not. I would love Guendouzi back, but we have to accept that one there is gone, man. That one there is gone, bro. Will Tierney start against Liverpool? He was great for Scotland. I start him there, but it is what it is. Even Calvin Phillips at Arsenal to at least add another homegrown guy to replace Chambers or Nketiah. I would love Calvin Phillips, but again, the Guala, bro. Guala. Thoughts on going 3-4-3 as lack of false nine against Liverpool. Brighton done that and got something out of the game. It's something to consider. Part of me wants to go 3-5-2. Part of me wants to go 4-2-3-1/4-3-3. Part of me wants to just keep the 4-4-2. It's an interesting one, and I don't think there is one sure fig. If I'm real with you, Yasser. Appreciate you because you're always locked in and things like that, and you're always asking me how my day was and them thing there. So I appreciate that, man. Life ain't that serious. You can't laugh at your workplace again, bro. What happened to some man? Like, come on now, man. Like, and the thing is, do you know how, bro? Man can't just go to work, especially football, and just be 100% just aggy all the time. It's not that. Do you even Vieira and them, man? You don't think they had a laugh in training? It's just there's a time and a place. There's a time and a place. And to be fair to you, that's probably the first time you've seen anything into Lacazette's personality in the training ground. All you hear is that he's one of the most focused trainers. He's good. He's a good example for the young players. He's a good example. He's good for giving the young players advice and them things there. So, if you're gonna say he's not being serious or he's being immature, be a bit fair to him is all I'm saying. I mean, bit mad, really. Man can't even bust a joke again. Why so serious, man? Not gonna lie, I'd love Zachariah from Bundesliga. Would be rock solid next to Partey. Wouldn't mind it, but I just need some beautiful footballers, man. I think we've got too many destroyer type, man. But NK is going to have a good career. He's just at the point now where Arsenal need a striker within the next 18 months that's going to bang. He needs to go through an apprenticeship phase, and we just can't give him, Martinelli, Balogun, all these guys apprenticeship time, really. It's just one of them ones. Bruno Gomes in the summer seems more likely, younger, less injury prone, and will cost less than De Jong. But not going to lie, I want us to buy De Jong. So do I, man. Ruben Neves, wouldn't mind him, but again, voila, bro. You know, when you're linked with Basuma, with Madison, with Neves, with half of these guys at English teams, voila. Like, you need to come with the voila, or it's a myth. And that's why I don't like when Arsenal try and do the cheap thing to Premier League clubs, because no one tries to cut us any deals. Obviously, Arsenal can't sit there and say, for example, Reece Nelson, Eddie Nketiah, Maitland-Niles can get big money, you know, because they ain't really done much. But and their contracts probably play a part. But no one's going to give us any deals. You know, ideally, I've said it before, if you're ever going to sell Tyrese, John Jules, Balogun, or Eddie Nketiah, you need to be getting 20 mil minimum. You know, obviously Maitland-Niles, I think 20 mil is about fair. But if I'm trying to buy Ainsley, I'm saying, listen, I got 12 and 8 million in variables. His contract's running up soon. The decision's yours, innit? So this is why Arsenal need to get on task with certifying and solidifying contracts before they become problems like that. We need more ball progressions, man. I do think there is a scope to bring in another defensive-minded midfielder or someone that wins the ball back. Because obviously, if Partey or Lokonga get injured, it's a mazza. But we've got too many of them now. There's too many piano pushers. We need some piano players, man. Do you think the Hossam Aouar ship has sailed, or could we still go back? Well, I think we still could go back. But for me, it sailed. I'd still want him. But it's one of them where you've sold yourself to dream so long, and it just seemed like again, without knowing everything, it seemed like he was available at a discount. It seemed like there was a free hit. Seemed like he wanted to leave, and we just left him. So there must be something, not just for Arsenal, but something with all these clubs to not take a chance on Aouar. Because you heard Juventus, this team, that team. Obviously, everyone might have been broke. Obviously, everyone needed to make more significant changes, or maybe there's something with his advisors or something Lyon's demanding. Maybe there's something in the background we don't know about, man. Phillips would cost 50, 60 mil. I think we could do better. I hear that. Break the bank for Tuchemani. I'm on that fully. But even that, you're going to sign Tuchemani, have Partey, and obviously have Lokonga. But we're not going to create nothing. It's mad. Remember when we used to cry for the destroyer type midfielders, DG? Bro, we've cried for everything. I just want variety. Variety is the spice of life, man. You know? I love jerk chicken and rice, but I don't want to yam that every day. Sometimes I want to spice it up. If I have jerk chicken and rice, I might want some coleslaw, some mac and cheese, some plant in there, you know, some hard food and that thrown in there as well. I'm greedy. I do all of that, you know. I don't just want the same things. You want to mix things up. I might want fried dumpling today. I might want boiled the next day. Or I might fry the boiled dumpling the day after that. You want different things in life, man. Swear we're the only club you can't apply English tax when selling players. To be fair, it won't be Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. But I hear you. You're right, though. Not feeling the Vlahovic. I want Osimhen. Not gonna happen, but would be nice, bro. Osimhen, Karim Adeyemi, Vlahovic, all the man there can come to the team, man. I'm just desperate, man. If we could have Zachariah and Sanchez as rotation, that would be great. It's a bit meaty, though. Sterling really convinced by Arteta's process. Hey, the article said that, not me. I just put that in the title. That's what it said. You have to call up Sterling, or you have to call up Arteta. I'm here with you, lot, but bro, big up Karim Adeyemi, man. That guy is sick. I can never say his name, Suleimana, but him and Jeremy Doku gonna make peace for them, man. DG, let Chambers and Ainsley Maitland-Niles, guys. We need better players. Make it price of improving the team. You can't improve the team while holding on to old faces. You can't, but we're probably going to need depth. And obviously, everybody's going to know we need player. We need midfielders anyways. If selling them means we're bringing a midfielder, I'm on it. But it could be worth just holding on to a couple of these guys and then whatever. And in Ainsley's case, we're going to need him in it because you've got Partey and El Nene needs to go anyways. But you're going to have two midfielders gone in January. We need to bring in a midfielder anyway. So with Maitland, he probably could stay. Probably could get away with Chambers going, but it is what it is. It seems like we got too many piano pushers. We need some piano players. It's that, you know, and they're both important, George. I'm not belittling anyone. If you don't have piano pushes, if think about it, if we're in a theater, if you haven't paid someone to push that piano into that center of that theater, there's the composer's not gonna play. If he's not playing, there's no tickets. If there's no tickets, there's no money. If there's no money, people are not paying their bills, you know. Likewise, you know, the piano pusher can't be the player. If he plays the tune, it's gonna be dead. No one's on it. You need the piano pushers and players. Now we've pushed the pianos. Now, can we get someone that can play this thing? You know, because I do think as much as we need these ball-winning midfielders, how you retain the ball, how you dictate possession, especially in second halves of games. You know, you look at Kovacic at Chelsea, you look at City, you look at Liverpool. You know, not just Thiago, Henderson, and Fabinho. They are able to do certain things. We're not able to do that, and you know, we've got Xhaka who can do that, but he's got numerous things wrong with him. Partey can do a little bit and piece of it, but I just feel since Partey's come to this club, we're trying to make we're just doing this, bro. You as at Atletico, you come and make something happen. You got to be attacking mid, defensive mid, just do everything. That's not him. I would have loved Bernardo Silva. That's someone I've wanted for time before the Monaco thing, really. You know, when I say Monaco, I mean that mad Champions League season, but they're the man there you have to get before that. Now it's a myth. Van der Beek, you can come here, but again, if I'm Van der Beek, I'll probably try patting a loan from Man United for the. If I'm Van der Beek at Man United, considering that it looks like it's Ollie's last season, and you know he wants to make it at United, I might sit on my hands for one more season and say, you know what, cool, you're leaving, or I might say, you know what, I'm not playing, I want to go on loan. Ollie's probably not going to be there next year. You go on loan, you show United. You know how fans are in it. Any player that goes on loan at another club starts shelling it down. They're going to be doing the why isn't he here and all of them sort of things there. So for me, if I'm Van der Beek, try get a loan in January, 6 months. There's going to be a new manager at United. Try and show him something in it. Really, Kakare is amazing. Bit lightweight. Needs to probably eat some hard food, but needs to sign, man. Should have signed Kovacic instead of Saliba back in the day. To be fair, Kovacic was gone. Do you think Odegaard can play next to Partey, potentially our piano player? Yeah. You know, he's done it before. You know, it's been hit and miss. We've seen, what was it? It might have been Brighton. I might be wrong, but there was a game where I'm not going to lie. Odegaard was trying to be an 8 and a 10, and it's like he's deserting Partey. But there's also, what was it, against Burnley, where they worked fantastic. I know we scored a free kick in that game, but they worked fantastic. But I can't really sit here and say Xhaka and Partey is a hit and miss partnership, which I think it is, and say that isn't one, because I've seen one hit by them that you're talking about, and one miss. So, yeah, man, all these, you know, none of these pivots are going to be the thing for us if you deep it, you know. Obviously, you need different tiers, and maybe I'm thinking a bit ahead, but Arsenal need to have one way of playing and be able to change it. And by that same token, you need to have 2 6s that can play together. Maybe even 3 6s, flat midfield, 2 8s and a 10, 2 10s and an 8, depending on the opposition you play. And I think we are seeing a little bit of, even with centre halves, it's not always going to be Gabriel and Ben White. You need to have suitable partnerships or suitable back threes. I have liked a couple of midfield partnerships that have developed this season. Obviously, we've seen Partey and Odegaard work. Lokonga and Ainsley, that's probably, you know, our cup pivot / games like Norwich and Watford probably get away with that. We probably need some other midfielders. But yeah, man, I like the byproduct of some partnerships, you know, Lokonga and Partey, big bro, little bro, but none of them are levels, if I'm honest with you. None of them. If everybody's fit for 38 games, I wouldn't be happy with that, really. Nothing to do with the players. It's just, I don't think it has enough. You know, Lokonga's doing his thing and will take over and be, in my opinion, one of the first names on this Arsenal team sheet in the future. But again, I don't think anybody is levels at this moment in time. So we need midfielders. Nobody is, honestly, I don't think anybody's levels, honestly. Consistently. You'll get a tune out of here, man. But yeah, man. Gallagher's going back to Chelsea. Stop dreaming. Fuck. I didn't mention Gallagher. Shout out to Gallagher, but I don't know. I didn't mention him, but I'm gonna take your word for it, man. You're right, bro. That's why more time we struggle in the second half. Can't really control the game without ball playing midfielders, because people just think controlling their games just tackling man and moving to man and things like that. It's not that. It's how you hold on. Defending can be how you hold on to the ball. Big up, C. Let's get the likes up, guys. We're almost at 200 people. Do me a favor as well. Please make sure you're checking out my YouTube community page. I'm asked you for Q&A questions. Make sure you're checking out the playlist. You got a Football Manager playlist, and I've actually started, because I know a lot of you miss a lot of content every week. All the content that I've done for that week. Throughout the week, I'm just going to be adding the videos into that playlist. So call it a little catch-up thing, innit? And I'll name it the week that's obviously gone. So make sure you're checking that out. 1 p.m. there should be a live video on Twitch. I mean, not on Twitch, of on YouTube of Football Manager, and I'm on Twitch at 4 p.m. So busy day, busy content. Odegaard as an 8 would be amazing. He needs to develop his defensive game. His passing range as an 8 would be great. I hear that. To be fair, I think Odegaard's defensive output is really disrespected in general. Pulling out the whole menu out, bro. Love it. Appreciate that, man. I'm making myself hungry. You could tell it's lunchtime, innit? Mariba would be great. It would be, but we had the chance, man. The man there gone now. He's gone to Leipzig. He's probably going to get his feet under the door there for a second develop and whatever. Basuma's ideal. Phil Jones, not after what's going on with him in the papers, I wouldn't say, man. I think we probably got to stay away from that one there, if I'm completely honest. But it could be something to explore, man. 300 of you locked in, 202 likes. First thing, for everyone who's hit the like button, God bless. Hope you'll win the lottery. Unexpected high bills for the 100 of you who have not hit that like button. Shame on you. It's free and you ain't done that. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you're also subscribing as well, man. Let me scroll up. Maybe Pedro Neto or Noah Lang as wing depth, because it seems like we get linked with them a lot. Pedro Neto's going to cost, well, to be fair with you, he's got injured now, innit? So probably a little bit of a knockoff, and I would take him, but he's going to cost a pretty penny. And for me, I'm on it. I'm on it. But I would prefer a striker. If we can't get a striker, I'd actually, ideally, do you know what? I might be unpopular, but I would actually prefer an inside forward than a striker. If you can grab an inside forward, you could score mad goals off that left. I'd prefer that than a striker. But I would say striker / that are the priorities. And I mean starting quality, not just depth. Obviously, you look at things, these guys could become starters, and we need to probably sign stars before they come stars. Like, we've got to do what Liverpool is doing. I think we could learn a lot from Liverpool and City, because you look at Liverpool, they're taking chances on players. Klopp worked with Henderson. No one was checking for Robertson. Look at him. Fabinho was doing his thing, but you get it. And a couple of their players have been sourced. I think when you look over there at City, yeah, they've bought quality household names. They just spent 100 odd million on Jack Grealish, but they've signed players that were good, but not amazing at the time. Kevin De Bruyne was good. He weren't amazing in Bundesliga. Bernardo Silva was good. He's now become even better. Half the players that they sign, we could learn from it, really. Don't think Ainsley Maitland-Niles playing for Everton would elevate his ability, I mean, is it necessarily about elevating his ability? I agree with you, but I disagree, The more Premier League games you can play, the more chance you have. But also, put you in the shop window. All we need is Ainsley to elevate his stature in football, if we're doing this loan thing. And if we were to loan out Ainsley, that tells me it's a money thing, car. We can't have loaned him out with what's going on with AFCON and the bodies, whether we rate him or not. So we need him to have a good loan spell. And this is why I hope Torreira and Bellerin are shelling it down for their clubs, which evidently not, man. Man said the old players hoarder. I want these players to go, man. It's just you're living a FIFA movie if you think you're gonna see 10 man leave and 10 man come in. It's not working like that. Would you still take Szoboszlai? Yeah. Does Sterling trust the process? It's a myth, man. Someone like Henderson would be perfect, a guy who controls the tempo of the game, very competent passer, confident on the ball and dictates the play. Any other possible realistic players in mind? I mean, we've gone through them, really, and it's the same old. I'd like our scouts to just do the jobs, really. There could be someone who we don't rate. I don't think that's, it's never good. Not everyone's going to do the Ramsdale thing where people are not going to really rate a player and then he comes and shells it down, really and truly. Like, we all knew William was going to be a dud and we're all proved right in that regards. But maybe there's a midfielder that we've been linked with that we're all turning up our nose at already and they could be 30. I don't know. We need both because we can't rely on Oba and Laka at 9 for a whole year. In fact, only AUBAMEYANG next year. True. But I can't see us. Well, I would love it to be, but can I see us in the summer? From now to the summer, I'd love to see it. In my world, 2 number 8s, a striker, a wide forward. That's 4 man, right? Backup right back. That's about 5 man. It's doable still, but I can't see it. What else would I say? If you could grab a centre half, like that's better than Marie, but the same profile of Marie to just step in when needed, squad player and that, why not? Backup goalie 6. Because Leno's going to keep it moving. I can't really see them 6 people coming in. And these are areas we've needed for a minute, man. Pardon me. To stay up to date with DG, and when he goes live, follow him on Twitter. Big up the Nightbot. DG, would you rather ready-made 80 million strike or 35 Kareem Adeyemi, bro? Kareem Adeyemi would be worth 80 million within 18 months of being here. So, yeah, Kareem Adeyemi, you know, again, bit biased, evidently biased. Do you rate Ainsley Maitland-Niles? I think he's all right. I'm a big fan of Ainsley's Halen, but that's where it stops, man. I wouldn't say he's amazing or going to be amazing. I do think Partey and Ainsley can play well, but again, I don't think it's levels. It's something that could be an option across the season, but I don't think it's levels. I don't think it offers enough, really. So it is what it is where that's concerned. But why not hit the like button if you haven't? Let me make sure I've sent you lot. Here's the link to the latest Football Manager thing, people, so you lot don't miss out on that one. What's the time? Because I need to watch the time. We've got meetings. Let me type in Arsenal again online, see if there's anything we have missed, folks. And obviously, make sure 11:30 tomorrow. I haven't made it yet, but 11:30 tomorrow, we're gonna sit there and we're gonna, you know, talk about the game and everything to come, people. So, yeah, man, it should be interesting. And again, one love to everyone who was on Twitch with James Redman. I'll probably between today and tomorrow. I haven't decided. Should I upload it today? Should I upload it tomorrow? What's the date today? I'm living in the future. Oh well, yeah, Thursday. I'll let it come out tomorrow. I'm living in the future. For some reason, I thought it was Thursday today. Even though at the start I said it's Wednesday. Moving mad, man. It was yesterday, bro. It will come out between today and Friday. So yeah, but to not miss any of them, make sure you're following me on Twitch. And tomorrow at 2:30, I'm gonna have Mo. You know, Mo formerly on AFTV. You know, gonna have him. We'll speak about the game. Trying to see what I can do for a couple of other collabs. Pardon me, but I'll be honest with you guys. I feel fucking knackered, man. Like tired, man. Like I feel like I'm forcing it in terms of the collabs, man. Like I can't dead myself and tire myself out and all of these things, if it makes sense. DG going to the Arsenal Sunderland game. Haven't thought about it, but probably not. Lingard is a good shout as well. Nah. I can't say I'll back that one, but I'll take your word for it. Get a couple questions in, people. I don't want to leave you lot hanging. Don't want to leave you lot hanging at all. As well as that, I mean, if we just quickly look at this, we spoke about set pieces. Nicholas Yova, Arsenal set piece genius, is transforming their threat from dead ball scenarios. You know, I appreciate him because I know we're still doing short set pieces in training, but you know, we actually look like players like Saka and that are able to take corners now, which something I wanted to see improve last season, and we're actually scoring from them. Obviously, the biggest highlight is Chambers coming on, and within like 30 seconds with his first touch, he scored a header. But yeah, we're looking all right from set pieces, people. Scrolling all the way down, you know, we know he got praised for obviously helping Callum Chambers score from a set piece. You know, we're joint highest for set piece goals in the Premier League, people, along with Liverpool, which makes Saturday's game even more interesting with 6 people. They have already equalized their total for the whole of last season, where only Fulham and Sheffield United scored fewer goals from set pieces. So again, credit where due, it's been worked on. An area of weakness has become one of strength. With 46% of Arsenal's Premier League goals coming from set pieces this season, coming compared to just 11%. Now, devil's advocate, I do think we're relying too much on set pieces as well as we rely on individual brilliance. Would like a bit more clear-cut Arsenal goals as a result of a byproduct of creating more chances, putting teams under more sustained pressure and whatnot. But it is what it is, people. And obviously, he's worked at Manchester City before. You know, and he joined Arsenal in July to replace the outgoing one, Andreas Gregson. So I don't know what he was getting paid for, but it seems like his coaching methods didn't work. And you know, Yova, we're seeing stuff in it, like really and truly. And Arteta described him as someone whose expertise can be incredibly useful and valuable for us. It's a crucial part of the game nowadays. And what I like with that is Arteta can't be an expert everywhere. You know, some managers are shit when it comes to developing youth, but they're a good tactician. You can't have everything. So I do like delegation, and the Arteta's clearly got that. You have to be able to trust someone, and you as a manager, especially someone as young as Arteta, you need to be able to delegate, because if we're working on set pieces, Arteta can be there, but he needs to be a bit hands off. And for that hour that we're working on set pieces, it's Yova in control. Obviously, freedom within a framework. Arteta has the base reason, but he's got to give it to him. And I think, you know, as good as Arteta may or may not be as a tactician, you need your coaching staff, because Arteta can't be everywhere. You know, if you want him to develop young players and work one-to-one with young players, he needs to have faith in the coaching team, and the coaching team have to be good enough to be able to make up the difference, people. So yeah, man, liking what I'm seeing. In Yova's first season at the Etihad Stadium, they scored more set-piece goals than any other Premier League side and conceded the fewest. In his second, the numbers were similarly impressive as he helped them reclaim the Premier League title, and you can see it there, people. At Arsenal, meanwhile, Gregson's impact was mixed. Now, I'm not going to critique him, but clearly I don't know if it was his communication to the players or to Arteta, or his beliefs, or what he was focusing on, or maybe the players are just a bit smarter. Maybe we've got more receptive players now, players that are a bit more sensible, but maybe the players, you know, they understand Yova a bit more because of Gregson. I don't know, but it appears that he weren't levels. My man was in it. To be fair, the Swede helped us helped us defensively. No Premier League side conceded fewer set-piece goals than us last season, but we left considerable room for improvement in an offensive sense, as you saw, people. And he's had quite a role, people. You know, he's been Yova at 40 years of age, has been with Man City, Arsenal, Brentford, the Croatian national team, and he's obviously been in France with Montpellier, which again, that could help with communication levels as well. I don't know his level of French, but I could imagine that opens up conversations with Gabriel. Lacazette and Aubameyang speak perfect English, but speaking French with them or whatever, in it, people. You get it? So it's one of them. At Brentford, he came to know Mads Dudegaard, another set-piece coach. Big up to him, and they're doing study groups, and obviously he's a meticulous planner. He went on to say, I've always had passion for set pieces, but at that point, I was still a normal coach in a normal coaching role. I think after meeting him, I began to see myself more as a set piece specialist. Nicholas is a genius in the way he thinks and the way he creates the plan. Sitting with him and discussing different set plays, you feel everything has an exact thought behind it. There are no coincidences at any point in the routine. Whenever we discuss set pieces, it was never simple. We could discuss a specific corner routine for over an hour, not a problem. He would go through every aspect and go through what the opponent would then do. It was very, very detailed, which is true. There are a few set-piece coaches who I know personally, but in my mind, I think Nicholas is the best. He's fantastic. And I love it. But this, you know, how long is he going to stay at Arsenal then? Because if you're the best, you're going to be wanted by the best. How long are you going to stay here? So yeah, big up to him, people. Really, I'm not just going to keep reading this. You know, you lot can see the statistics for yourself. Clearly, we've gone up in all the metrics because we're scoring more and ultimately look more of a problem. And you know, we've got decent set piece problems, really and truly. You know, you've got, as you lot can see here, decent height on Tavares, Tomiyasu, White, Partey, Gabriel, Aubameyang, and things like that. We've got good runners, really. And what I like is we're surrounding keepers a bit more, you know, forget the goals. I just like that we're surrounding keepers. He said, you can have the perfect plan, but after that, you need to make the players buy into the plan and bring it onto the pitch in a way that makes them believe in it. And I mean, fair enough, it's only Leeds in the cup, but the way the players have reacted, clearly, there's that. And for players, sometimes when you can see something physically working, you're going to believe more. Like I can guarantee the next set piece routine these guys doing, there was probably, you know, even more enthusiasm from these lot, really. Set piece are his passion. He transmits that to the players, but he's also very open-minded. He listens to them. I think that's a key point for any coach. It's not just about telling players what to do. It's a cooperation. Nicholas is always asking questions and he's never satisfied. A lot of young coaches say to me, but you're only the set piece coach, which is mad. He said 35% of goals in general are scored from set pieces. And if I'm doing my job well, then we're going to be better than that. The role of the sex piece coach. Definitely not. Set piece coach is not a highlighted one, but I'm sure in 3 or 4 years, every club will have one. Exactly. Like I remember when, I don't know if Arsenal's got one, but it could correlate with being set piece. Didn't Liverpool get a throw-in coach and everybody laughed? And then Liverpool started scoring mad goals from set pieces / throw-ins. And then everybody said, oh, maybe that's a somewhat fine margin we should be looking at, really. So we'll have to see what happens in that regards, folks. But it's an interesting one for sure. For sure. So that's 134.20. Oh, shit. Sorry, folks. Let's say 20. Peace, coach. Does Mad Dog Tavares keep his place on Saturday, or are you going with Tierney? I'm going with Tierney, to be fair with you. Dull. You got more. Leave Lingard for West Ham, then man there. I rate Arteta's player development. Jury's still out, but it's going well, to be fair. If I'm honest, it's going all right. But yeah, on that note, people, I'm just conscious that I have a meeting at 1:30, so I'm going to get out of here before I can obviously, before I actually run against time. So yeah, man, it's been a fantastic 95 minutes or so with you guys, as it always is. I appreciate everyone who's hit the like button, everyone who's subscribed, everyone who's obviously giving their talking points and all those sort of things. Hit the like button. Make sure you're on Twitch at 4 p.m. Go and check out my live stream for Football Manager that has just come out. And yeah, I'm going to love and leave you lot, man. It's been fantastic. Obviously, throughout the course of this, we've spoken about the athletics piece. We've indirectly previewed Arsenal, Liverpool. We've covered the transfer news with Sterling, Frankie de Jong, Balogun, Ramsdale, Ramsdale's comments on AUBAMEYANG. We've spoken about Chambers and Ainsley. We've spoken about the set piece coach. So yeah, man, on that note, everybody stay blessed. Have a great end to the week. Go and achieve your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. And I'll see you lot in a bit, man.
So it's always just that active and defending. I think it's like